Welcome back to Hunter x Hunter Anime Review. This is part 9. And this one reviewing the last two OVAs series for 1990 anime, which is Series 2, Greed Island, Series 3, Greed Island Final. Yep. Yeah, Greed Island, the first one, the second series. This one's 8 episodes long. The second one is 14 episodes. Combined, this is 22 episodes, which makes this longer than it is in the 2011 series. I'm not kidding about that. This is even longer than that. And of course, that was like 12 episodes. Let me take a look at just to be sure. Just making sure about this. Uh, actually, Greed Island is 16 episodes. So in this series, it's 6 episodes longer than it is in 2011. So yeah. So my guess, now I've heard for one person, I think it's Jeremy told me this. He says this was not a very popular arc when it was coming out. I mean, it's like, okay, we just got off of the Phantom Troop stuff, and then we come to this game stuff, and the villain itself is not very interesting at all. The Bomber. Yeah, where he touches people and they blow up. Yeah, same thing he does in 2011 series, so not much different there. I mean, there's some slight differences here to like Biscuit's dress. I believe her dress in the 2011 series is more pink than red. And her hair color, she's I think she's a blonde. In here she's a redhead. Okay, fine. Minor colorations there changes. Hitsuga, he looks different than he does in 2011. Like his hair is a little bit longer in this particular arc to cover these 22 episodes, and his shirt doesn't have the card symbols, like the heart, the diamond, the black spade. Yeah, the symbols you see on cards. Yeah, he doesn't have that on this outfit for some reason. And also, probably good fan service for the ladies. You get a chance to hit Hitsuga's butt twice in this entire time. Yep, twice. First time you get a chance to see him. Now this I do not remember seeing in the 2011 version where Crollo, the leader of the Phantom Troop, where he contacts Hitsuga and get a Nen Exorcist. Yeah, that part that was not in 2011. He just randomly showed up on the island, and all he had was like healing items. Here they don't mention exactly what he have, and he also mentioned that he didn't know what a company was. And the reason why that Gon approaches him is so they can help him win a game at sports, which he doesn't have a problem with at all. I mean, it's just an okay thing for him to do. I mean, his role in the Great Island arc is very small. I mean, he does show up now and again. Also, they do make one change that's not in the 2011 version. When the Phantom Troops show up on the island, they just walk around, no problem. And in this series, they get to the island via boat instead of, using a joy station to get there. And then they meet Razor, who actually does not meet them in 2011, and just shoots them off the island, and he blows up their boat. Yeah, he destroys their boat. Not kidding. And as people who go into the game, they're pretty much it's the same people going into the game as is in the both in the anime and the manga. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, Killua does some gambling in the gambling city, wins a bunch of cards with this very special with his lucky dice, which lucky dice also used by the Bomber. Yeah, and as for the Nen Exorcist, yeah, simply put, what happens to him in here is the same exact thing. Now, they don't seem interacting that much with Hitsuga in the 2011 series. It's like right after he cures himself of being like with the bomb, he just disappears and never seen again. Here, you get a chance to actually talk to him. Also, they did something in this series I don't think they did this in 2011. They actually introduced Hitsuga's replacement in the Phantom Troop. Killua's younger brother, the one who dresses up like a girl. Yes, I'm not kidding. Yeah, his youngest brother, who dressed up as a girl, is the newest member of the Phantom Troop. His name is let's see if I can find his name here. No, that's not that one. Kikios. Let's see. No, it's not here. I'm trying to find his name here. I know he's one of the siblings. Here he is. Uh, Kaluto Zodak. Yep. It still bugs me of why in the world that Kikyo, um, Killua's mother, wanted a girl, even though she had a girl right after she had this one, and decided to dress this one up like a girl. Oh yeah, and in the series, they call this one a guy. Yeah, so it kind of bugs me, like why in the world would a little boy dress up as a girl even though he's a guy? He acknowledges he's a guy, he just goes along with it. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Haku from. It reminds me of a couple other characters from a couple other series. My guess is that this character was probably the basis for Haku in Naruto. Yeah, because Hunter x Hunter did. There were some elements in this series that did basically influence Naruto. Like the Hunter exam influenced the Chunin exams. This character probably influenced Haku, along with that guy who dressed up like a girl from Rashura Kenshin, and Makoto Shishio is probably It's probably a loose inspiration for Zabuza. That's my personal guess. So there's no villain in this series that actually has tape around his face. Well, there is one I can think of, and he's part of the fan troop, but not a point where he's a villain. I'm trying to think of his name. His name is let's see if I can find his name here. That's not his name. There we go. Felton. Yeah, that's his name, Felton. Also, for some reason in this series, when they do the when Biscuit, who actually shows up in here, when she goes to her true form, it's kind of like they switched the actor who portrayed her, where it sounds for first it's a little girl, and then it sounds like a fully grown man. I'm not kidding about that. That's basically how they portray her. I have no idea why they did that for in this series for. Yeah, it's just so bizarre. Yeah, they have. Yeah, I'm looking up right now. There are at least for the Green Island stuff. She has one, two, three voice actors. Yes, she has three voice actors in the OVA stuff. Of course, in the 2011 series, she has one voice actress, which makes perfect sense to do that. But okay, so in this series, they gave her three voice actors, which is bizarre. She's still 57. She still does the comedic stuff of punching out Killua whenever he calls her an old hag, or punch Killua and Gon for not including her in the conversation. Of course, they don't show in here of them telling her that Chrollo is leader of the Phantom, because they mention Chrollo and she's like, "Who's Chrollo?" And they mention Karapika, like, "Who is Karapika?" And she wanted to land the conversation. And as far as I know, there is no scene of them actually telling her who these people are. Yep. Oh, and in case you're wondering, does she drool over seeing Hitsuga in the nude? Yes, she does. Though she hides behind a tree for some reason. Though here she's like very shy. In the 2011 series, she's drooling over Hitsuga. And Hitsuga has like no reaction to seeing this. What he thinks is a little girl drooling over his masculinity. That's how I put it, because I'm not going to use some strange term for Hitsuga. Though he himself is a great character. He kind of reminds me of Shu. I mean, if you watch the series Tokyo Ghoul, Shu and Hitsuga are very similar characters, very charming individuals, and also want to have some kind of also have some strange infatuation with the lead character of the series. Though in the case of Shu, he wanted to eat Kenshi. Hitsuga wanted to beat the crap out of him, possibly kill him. He even constantly licks his lips. Yeah, it's a common trope for him, and Shu does the same thing as well. Though at least that Hitsuga doesn't want to eat Gon. Yeah. But the end of the series in the second one, the end of it, like the last thing you see during the credits is you get a chance to see Kurapika very briefly, Leorio for a good like 30 seconds, and you see Mito, and then finally it ends on Kite, who was last seen back in the pilot episode. Yep, last seen back in the pilot episode of this series, and this kind of leads into the Chimera Ant arc, which, according to the description I heard online, it's basically chapter 185 pages. It's like about halfway through the chapter, which it's kind of like, okay, so for this series they got to 185, and in 2011 they covered the first like 339 chapters because they covered a lot more material in that series than they did in this one. It's like this one they covered like the first 5 arcs, which is basically just Hunter Exam, Zodiac Family, Phantom Troop, and Green Allen. Basically the first 4 arcs of the series. And that's it. Oh, I almost forgot Heaven's Arena. It was basically it's Hunter Exam, Zodiac Family, Heaven's Arena, Phantom Troop, and Green Allen. Basically the first 5. But I'll get my final thoughts on the series in a follow-up video later. But otherwise, though, the Green Allen stuff was really good. Not much different here and there, but in the case of a lot of the important stuff you get a chance to see in 2011, it's not much different. Pretty much a lot of the stuff you see in 2011 is like if you watch a series after you watch 2011, it's like watching the same thing all over again, just with different animation and having some of our characters be different colors and some slight changes here and there. But mostly it's the same material. But this series has got filler in it. That's simply how it is when it comes to series. But the Great Allen stuff, I think it had like 1 episode of filler, but that was it. And when they aired these particular series, they aired like Series 1, which is basically the rest of the Phantom Troop stuff, though they call it like something else for some reason. Yeah, they don't call it Phantom Troop. They call it by their Japanese name, which is, let's see if I can find it, is known as Griddle Roden. Yeah, that's the Japanese translation of Phantom Troop. I like the name Phantom Troop a lot better because it's more interesting of a name. I don't know why that. Now, this is something also that's really kind of a bummer for this particular series. These 3 OVA series, the 2 I'm reviewing this one and the first one, were never dubbed. Nope, never were. I don't know why this media didn't dub them. They just didn't for some stupid reason. I have no idea why, but they just didn't. But at least they dubbed the Green Allen arc pretty much, as far as I can tell, currently. They did dub the entirety of the Green Allen arc, and they're about partway through the Phantom Troop, the Chimera Ant one. They are currently right now, as of right now for this series, they are exactly 81 episodes in, which is roughly about 5 episodes into Chimera Ant. That's just basically as far as I've got so far. 82nd episodes airing Saturday. Yep. Yeah, that's as far as I got with it. I mean, the series probably won't be finished up. I mean, I look at the release dates of a lot of these things for latest episodes, and it looks like that, like by the time it gets episode, let's say, 125, it won't get to that till December. Yeah, because they air this thing like weekly. And it probably won't be finished up until maybe next year at most when it comes to when they finish releasing the dub for this particular series. But otherwise, though, that's really it for this video. Overall, great stuff for Green Allen. I kind of like Green Allen, though some people don't like it because it's kind of a boring arc and it's an arc people can easily skip over. But here's the thing. This particular arc does plant some little bit of seeds here and there for Chimera Ant. That's simply the way it is for Green Allen. But it's a fun little side. It's a fun little side story. It's a fun little like distraction because we had just gotten through the darkness that was the Phantom Troop. So it's nice we have something very light. Despite the fact we have some darkness stuff with the bomber stuff, but that's just my opinion. We need something a little bit lighter with occasional dark stuff with the whole bomber stuff. Though it's not very graphically, thank God. All right, so that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for Part 10, which will be my final thoughts on the series. Okay? But until we see you in the next video, bye.